Good morning everyone, today we're going to be talking about how to play the Slayer class. However, this is going to be like a beginner's guide, a quick starter guide, a very simplified version so that you can hit the ground running and know what you're doing. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily, so if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. I just realized that I didn't even talk about the skill tree, so I'm just adding this segment in. But something I want to point out is I finally got my silver NGS official creator tag, so that's pretty nice. But anyway, back to the skill tree. So we're simply going to talk to the NPC, we're going to go to learn class skill and to the Slayer tab over here, and it's relatively simple. All you want to do is you want to learn everything in the skill tree. However, the main difference is if you are going to be playing Slayer as a main class, you want to max out Gunblade Focus Gauge Amplifier, Gunblade Focus Reset PP Gain, as well as Gunblade Focus Overflow. You can see these three skills, I only put 1 point in them instead of maxing them out at 5 points each, and the reason for this is because I'm actually going to be playing Slayer subclass and not as a main class. However, if you have decided that Slayer is going to be your main class, you want to max these skills out. Now, if you max these three skills out, you will be short on some points, and I recommend just taking off points from critical hit PP gain and allocating them over here, as well as just balancing the rest of your points between critical up as well as gallant up, critical up. However, if you want to be a little bit more economical with your skill points, then just put enough points in critical up until you get 4% critical chance on your main class, and then you can allocate the rest into gallant attack as well as critical hit PP gain. However, the point allocation between these three skills over here is really up to you. It's extremely flexible. Just do whatever fits your personal playstyle or what you personally want. Now, with that being said, back to the video. Alright, so the very first thing I want to talk about are the different Photon Arts that I use the most often. As we can see here on my weapon palette, I use Shifting Speaker as well as Flowing Sirius. As for these other two Photon Arts, I do not use them. Waving Regel is really good for PSE bursting because it does a gigantic AoE if you want to do so. As you can see right here, it just does this giant ground pound over and over and over. The only downside to this is it does use your photon power extremely quickly. However, in a PSE burst zone, the mobs die relatively quickly, and if you have a 4 subclass and PP eradication, you get back your photon power extremely quickly, but that is pretty much the only use for that Photon Art, at least for me. So let's talk about Shifting Speaker first. So Shifting Speaker has two different modes. The first mode is when you hold down a directional key while casting the Photon Art, and you're simply going to dash onto whatever you're locked onto, as you can see right here. Now, you can use the directional keys to reposition yourself, however, you will always dash towards whatever you're locked onto. Now, the second form of Shifting Speaker is you simply slash in front of you and then you shoot them like a shotgun, and it just hits them and does a little bit of damage. Now, the reason why Shifting Speaker is so good is because its animation is extremely short. However, something to keep in mind about the Slayer is you can weave in normal attacks while you're casting your Photon Arts. So what I want you to pay attention is to my photon power at 195. I'm just going to hold down my right click. This is me just spamming Speaker. You can see right here, my photon power is going down relatively quickly. However, the way that you want to play the Slayer class in order to get proper PP management is you want to make sure that the moment you cast a Photon Art that you do a normal attack in between. So you're weaving in normal attacks between every Photon Art, and that way your PP management is going to be a lot easier. I'm going to do the exact same thing now, however, I'm going to weave in normal attacks. So here we go. You can see it's a lot slower, but you can see that my photon power is not going down, and I'm able to spam the Photon Art over and over and over. So in order to take full advantage of Speaker, you want to weave in those auto attacks so that you constantly get your PP back, so you don't burn through all of your photon power and then become absolutely useless in the middle of a fight. But now let's talk about Flowing Sirius. Flowing Sirius is extremely powerful. As you can see, its potency is 1080. However, it has a whopping PP cost of 25. So it costs a lot of photon power to cast. So again, I'm just going to hold down the Photon Art and you're going to see how fast I burn through my PP. You can see I'm already halfway through and I've only casted it like 4 times, and you just burn through photon power extremely quickly. However, let me show you what it looks like when I'm using normal attacks in between these charges. As you can see over here, boom, boom. You can see my photon power does not drain as quickly. It's still draining because it costs 25 PP to cast, but it's not draining as quickly. Alright, enough of me explaining what the Photon Arts do. I'm sure you guys have probably seen many videos talking about what the Photon Arts do. Now you guys want to know the actual rotation on how to deal tons of damage. I'm going to tell you that your weapon action is pretty much the only thing you need to care about. All of the other Photon Arts, as well as Relentless Blade and all of that stuff, is extra stuff that you can stack on top of your base damage. But your bread and butter is going to be your weapon action. So the moment that you counter or you sidestep, you're simply going to tap the weapon action key again, and you're going to see the damage. So we're just going to head over here straight into Bujin. You can see right here, Elite Bujin. We're going to wait for him to attack. I'm not going to do anything except for weapon action. You see, the moment I weapon action, I can weapon action again. You see, boom, you click weapon action again, and it doesn't have to be stationary. You can move around if you want. You can dodge, you can weave, you can move left and right, you can see, and as long as you just keep spamming your weapon action key after you dodge or after you counter, you can do a 3-hit attack. And even better is the weapon action is actually a normal attack, so you can actually just seriously just spam the weapon action over and over and over if you're up point blank. You can see right here, all I'm doing right now is I'm spamming my weapon action. I'm not even moving. I'm literally standing right here. Oh, look at that, I countered. Oh, wow, this is amazing. So you can just do this if you're very, very lazy and you don't know what you're doing. Look, I'm killing Bujin without moving by just tapping a button. It's that simple. Super, super simple. No Photon Arts, just weapon action. Voila, done. However, just spamming the weapon action over and over and over isn't going to deal the most amount of damage because you're not utilizing any of your Photon Arts. Now, on your weapon palette, there are 2 separate skills over here. There's Unleashed Rage as well as Gunblade Focus Overdrive, which you can take advantage of in order to deal additional damage. So Unleashed Rage is a gap closer, but it also gives you 5% crit rate versus Overdrive over here, which just gives you a ton of potency, a ton of crit rate, as well as PP cost reduction. So as you can see on top of my weapon palette, there are 5 bars. Basically, when you're attacking, you're going to fill up these bars. When they're full, then you can activate Overdrive. However, every time that you do a Relentless Blade, which is an auto attack right after a Photon Art, you're actually going to fill up the bar for Unleashed Rage, which is on my number 3 key over here, so that you can use that gap close, get that extra 5% crit rate, and just deal additional damage. So we're going to be taking advantage of this time against Bujin. However, on top of that, I'm also going to be weaving in different Photon Arts and doing the Relentless Blade by using my normal attacks in between all of my Photon Arts. So we can see right here, we're about to head over to Bujin. I'm going to lock onto him. I'm going to do attack. I'm going to immediately use a Spica into another attack. Boom, boom. We can counter. And you can see that I'm weaving in all of these different Photon Arts in order to dodge his attacks as well as to reposition myself and gain additional damage. So instead of just relying on weapon action, I can now weave in and out, boom, I can counter that attack, in and out, and boom, I'm dodging this attack, boom, I dodge that attack, get a counter again. Oh, I'm really far away. Oh, what do I do? Maybe I should reposition. Oh, look at that. I can activate my number 4 or my overdrive. And now I'm dealing even more damage. And now you can basically see that I'm dancing around the boss with my weapon action as well as Spica in order to close the distance to get to the boss while staying safe. So this is pretty much what you want to do over and over and over. Now you can see that he does his dome. Again, you can just spam your weapon action here and it will protect you most of the time. I'm going to use my 3 to increase my crit rate. I'm going to end and boom, look at that, 11,000 damage. Again, I'm just spamming my weapon action over here so that I don't get hit. And again, I'm just spamming Spica in order to gap close and teleport around the map. And boom, he died a lot quicker this time. And this is simply because we took advantage of our moveset, our Photon Arts, our Relentless Blade, as well as our different actives in order to deal even more damage to speed up the process of killing the enemy. So the main takeaway from this video is weapon action is overpowered. You're literally just going to spam weapon action. If you're in super panic mode, just spam the weapon action and you're going to be fine. That is your bread and butter. That is the basis of basis, okay? However, obviously we want to level up. We want to deal more damage. This is where Unleash Rage as well as Gunblade Focus Overdrive comes into play. You want to make sure that you use these whenever they're available in order to boost all of your passive stats so that you can deal additional damage. And don't forget, before Overdrive ends, that you need to press it again, just like Brave Combat, in order to do your finisher, and you're going to hit those big juicy numbers of 12,000, 18,000, 25,000. It's going to hit really, really hard. So you want to make sure that you don't forget about your finisher. there. Now the next step after that is of course weaving in your shifting Spica or your flowing Cyrus in order to deal additional damage. Just don't forget to use your Relentless Blade, which is right after you cast the Photon Art that you do a normal attack. You're probably not going to see the Relentless Blade, however you're going to see the big damage number. If you see the big damage number, it means that you pulled it off. The timing for it is actually very simple. It's the moment you cast the Photon Art, you immediately use your normal attack. And the way that you know you did it correctly is you're going to see this white flash of light as well as this kind of purple line. I'm probably going to like focus it during the post edit so that you can see what on earth I'm talking about. But once you see that line, it means that you did it successfully. However, when you're fighting a boss, there's going to be a lot of stuff going on, so you probably can't see it. So just focusing on the big numbers a lot easier. Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again. But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye!